Hi everyone, long time no see. I hope that you've been looking forward to what I have in store for you. I haven't been doing much of YouTubing lately, but it's something that I'd like to continue in the coming months because it gives me a lot of fun and it's really a good way to train myself to be more fluid and more communicative, I think, especially with video. And one of the things that I'd like to talk about today is one of the series that I'm following currently, which is a Polish series for a change, which is really fun. It's a series that really changed my way of working in the past few months because it got me invested in Canva. It got me really invested into graphic design. It also made me motivated enough to become a moderator for a group that currently has 20k people in it on Facebook, which is really exciting and something that I never thought I would be doing, like if I was ever planning what I'd be doing in the next 5 months or something. And I'm also doing a meme account on Instagram, which will soon reach around 1,800 people. So it's really something that I didn't expect myself to be doing, but it brings me so much fun and it's such a different experience and also a way to de-stress, which I'm loving currently. The series is actually a format that's getting a sequel season. It's based on license of Colombian telenovela, which I was a fan of when I was a child. It was airing in Poland in 2000s. And it was really a series about, Ugly Duckling, becoming who they are meant to be, and psychological changing characters. I was really, really not that much obsessed with it when I was a child. The series got a lot of foreign licenses to different countries all around the world. There was a German version that was, I think, translated into French. So it's the same, just have as a voiceover or something like that. Russian version and US version for sure, and a Polish one in 2008, 2009, sort of. Um, Overall, it was airing when I was in junior high, and I never really got swept up by the trend because I was too busy with other stuff. But with the pandemic, I actually finished watching the first season. It was one of the series that I always wanted to catch up on, never had time for it before. And currently, the second season is an original creation of the creators and actors from the first season. So it's something entirely new, not based on the license. Not based on a license. So I was very curious to see how it's gonna go. And the series is called BrzydUla, which is Ugly Betty 2, really. The translation is a play on words from the titular character's name. And it's basically a different sort of series that I would have expected in Polish market. It deals with what happens after the fairy tale ending. The first series is really about a girl coming into the big city. She's not one of the models. She's not the most beautiful, I'd say. But it's not really about her being, ugly in a typical sense. It's more about her caring more for different things than looks, being very naive in life, being very devoted to family, and a playboy guy getting a complete psychological makeover. Which is a fascinating idea. I think quite naive, a fairy tale more like it, but actually got my attention when I was watching it during the pandemic. It first aired when I was still a child, as I said, a teenager really. But currently I have enough corporate experience to relate to the character in the first series, and it really got me interested because it's not your typical rom-com. It's not your everyday telenovela or anything like that. It's more of a comedic series, really kind of satire on how people in the city are behaving and what the stereotypes are within fashion industry. And second season currently airing on TFON because that's the television station that's behind the series. It deals with your 30s. It deals with what happens after the fairy tale ending of the first series, which was finished with a kiss and rose petals falling on the two protagonists. And the second season, I think, came as a shock to many in the sense that it's not picture perfect. You deal actually with the main character being kind of stuck at home with three kids. She loves them, of course, but she devoted all her time to family. Her man, on the other hand, who's her husband now after 10 years, is too busy being career driven and really just focusing so much on work stuff that he kind of neglects his family. I wouldn't have expected the series to go this way, but it's quite fun to watch it come along. At first, I was not really in tune with it, I'd say, because the format is quite different nowadays with the VOD TV, with HBO, with Netflix. So the normal way from around 10 years ago that you would watch out for premiering episode every day is not the way today. For example, I'm actually using the television's VOD platform to watch 5 episodes each week that they premiere on Friday and get all 5 episodes at the same time, which is a blessing. And it really makes it less annoying that the episodes are so short. They are around 20 minutes each with a sort of what happened in previous episodes, what's going to happen in the next ones, taking around a full 2 minutes or something in total. So you are stuck with around 20 minutes of content. And if I was to sit every day in front of TV waiting for it, I'd just go nuts, I think. Which is why I'm a moderator and I'm a payer for the VOD service. That's why I enjoy the benefits of it. But coming to my point, I think it's quite fun what the series is doing with the characters. I gave up on the main couple already, so I'm around 40 episodes in. The whole series is meant to be around 180. Perhaps it's going to be season 3. We'll see how the ratings go. Currently, it's quite successful, I'd say. It got kicked out from the main TV channel to a sister channel, and it's getting traffic from the main channel. So I think that was a bad decision on their part. That they didn't expect the reboot to make such a great debut and really get people going, talking about it. It's also been made within the pandemic times, so they are actually filming it nowadays. I think they started just immediately after the first lockdown in Poland. So it's quite interesting from a technical point of view and a writing point of view to see how it influenced the reality of making content these days. I think if you were to show the series to someone from 2 years ago, they wouldn't be able to tell there's a pandemic going on currently, because it's quite clever writing. The characters interact with each other, but you don't see the emptiness, I'd say. Um, you also got really nice camera work compared to the first season. The first season was really shot in a telenovela style, really cheap interiors, really cheap landscapes used. The camera would not move too much. The kind of shots and angles you would get of actresses and actors were not really the greatest, I'd say. The montage is really up quite a notch this season, and I think overall, what else? Costumes are not my favorite, I'd say, because the main character, she's fatter in this. The actress is wearing a fat suit, which I'm not the greatest fan of. I think they should have done it differently, but okay. It's still good that she's actually fat. That she's not like stick thing, but still like there are various gripes I have with the current season in the terms that it's fine here in terms of television and in terms of storytelling and kind of tackling different issues. It's trying its best, I'd say. I don't want to give it a mark or anything when it's still not even halfway through. But it's trying, and I've been positively surprised what topics it tackles. For example, work relations, exactly how your family and work life could look like, how to strike a balance between the two, what it means to be really too self-sacrificing, I'd say. But the main character never really resonated personally with me. I wasn't kind of tuned in with her. She's not my personality type, definitely not. But the topics from the first series and the second season, they are intertwined, and I'm seeing more and more, the further I go in, that it does make sense, and I'm looking forward to seeing them more. I think that it's a really good adaptation. From what I remember from the original one, that one was crazy. It was really satire at its best, really, really sometimes too harsh characters, I'd say. But it's something that I want to watch for myself now after a few years have passed since my initial impression of it as a child, definitely. And I think it's a different sort of format for a series in Poland. It's not like Everyday Troubles, that sort of telenovelas that I hate personally, that like nothing ever happens in it and you have to follow 200 episodes to be able to tell what the storyline or the story arc was, because it's so just dissected into really small, small parts that it doesn't make sense unless you see the whole thing, I think. Even though I understand that from telenovela point of view, that's the way it's structured so that you can always get into it and watch and watch and watch. But it's just like, oh no, no. I mean, especially now that I've started watching Netflix more, with Broadchurch and different other series that really got me just sitting down and like paying attention when I have time for it and just like digesting it slowly. Um, but overall, I really recommend it. Currently, I don't think you can watch it with subtitles, unfortunately. But I hope they rectify that. I think there's a lot of potential for the TVN, because that's the TV channel that's behind the series, to produce English-speaking content. They started actually making, for example, a news channel dedicated to English speakers about what's going on in Poland. So I think they might change into that over time. They are yet to make subtitles for people that are hard of hearing. So that's the next step, the next logical step, I'd say. And it's a thing that really propels my life during the pandemic. I met loads of people. As I said, I became a moderator in a Facebook group. I started with two other girls an Instagram account with memes, which I never expected to do really. And I also learned a lot of Canva, and I actually conducted Zoom meetings for fans of actresses from the series, which was really amazing to be able to really, you know, step up and be quite personal with people you would not be able to interact with in real life. Like, I at least would have never had time for that or find myself in a position to be able to do that. So I'm really grateful for the series. I hope that you give it a try. And if you don't understand anything, just come back to me, I think. I'll be able to translate anything to you. I think it's quite fun to be on time with the contemporary culture and the contemporary TV that's been made live during pandemic, that you do have actresses, actors, the whole film crew, costumes, designers, cameramen or camera women, just going for it and bringing us content for VOD and TV channels while something as well as the pandemic is going on. So give it a try and come back to me, and I hope you look forward to more reviews and sort of snapshots of what's interesting to me at the current time. So thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye!